Hello and welcome back to This Should Have Been Done 2 weeks ago, but instead I moved across the country. Again. The year is 2022. It's been 2 years since the release of Counterwatch Global Anime, and I haven't played it since like January. I'm not gonna lie, Valorant used to be the backbone of my channel, but recently it just gotten kinda stale, you know? Whenever I did play Valorant the last year, it would always follow the same schedule. I would sit down, play, and 7 rounds later I would inevitably get upset that I was doing so poorly, get bored, turn on YouTube on my other monitor, and just watch that for the rest of the game.
Oh, have you seen this guy? He's really funny.
Then we would either get off Val or queue up for a second round and inevitably surrender as soon as possible, because why would we even play another round? After this, everyone would leave or just want to go play Civ 6, which is just more fun. So this is the situation we've been in for the past year. Who's we? Me. I am we. After a very long hiatus, I got back into the game, so let me serenade you for the next however long this video is about my adventures and why I think Valorant is so tedious to play. And yes, I just punched my mic. First off, let's start with a comparison. CSGO is a game that shares its bones with Valorant. Both are tac shooters and both are, well, practically the same game. Even when it comes to the guns, the Vandal is the AK, and whatever the police have is the Phantom. The Deagle and the Sheriff, for most intents and purposes, are the same gun. The Super Snipers in both games are even abbreviated to the same thing, the AWP, that is being the OP, and the AWP. They even both share a P. But something that CSGO does do better that Valorant could really steal from is just more guns. No, I'm not kidding. I can count on my hand how many guns a common player will use. It's 5, because I have 5 fingers. First off, you got the classic, which shouldn't even count because it is literally the default weapon. A Ghost for your second round. A Phantom and a Vandal, which really should only fill 1 slot because for all intents and purposes, yes, I know I'm saying that wrong, they fill the exact same slot in terms of what they do. Finally, you have the Spectre, which is just there for force and full body. That's it. Those are the 5 that you will probably use every game. Now, there are other common weapons, like the Sheriff Automatic Classic, I cannot remember its name, Duelie? Cassandra? As well as the UP are also very popular choices. However, they're most specialized, and I don't think you see them as much in every game. Like, you can go an entire game without seeing an UP. But, you know, it's still fairly popular. So, you do have alternatives to these 5 guns, which is good, but, you know, let's go through them. There's this useless piece. Sorry about that, but, like, genuinely, this gun doesn't exist. It is never used unironically. It just doesn't exist. The shorty is not useful. You see this little guy? What is this gun? I actually love the Stinger because it's very, very unique. But the thing is, this gun is supposed to be whatever the replacement for like an SMG that you can run and gun with is. But it's way too inaccurate to run and gun, and its burst mode is way too accurate to run and gun. So I don't really know what situation this would be useful in. Literally, it would be more accurate to rename it to "My team is yelling at me to buy, but I'm very poor," and like it would perfectly demonstrate what the gun is used for. Shotguns. You know them, hunters love them. First thing I want to say is the Judge is a fair and balanced weapon. Both the Bucky and Judge are fine. There's not really much you can do with shotguns and attack shooters, so I think they did a good job. I enjoy them. The Marshall is literally the worst idea Riot has ever come up with. Well, other than getting rid of White Joy. But AK, this is also stolen from CS Global. No, it isn't. It's supposed to be the mirror image of the Scout. They even have similar names. But the Scout is a gun all on its own. There are times when, other than because of your ego, you would want to use a Scout over an AWP. I actually like the Scout more than the AWP for a lot of situations. The Marshall, it's just a worse AWP. The Scout is fast-paced, more accurate, but much less powerful than the AWP, and the Marshall can kind of reload faster, and that's it. The Marshall isn't fast, and it doesn't reload that much quicker, so it's completely useless. It is literally just a less powerful version of the AWP. The only reason you would ever want to use it is to save eco. That's it. The Scout is a unique and independent weapon, separate from the AWP, and the Marshall is just like a cheaply made AWP. LMGs, they exist, and I don't have an issue with them. The rifles! These will be your main primary weapons. Well, no, 2 of them will be your main primary weapons, and you won't touch the Bulldog and the Guardian. And that's a crying shame, because these guns are actually great. They're just, kind of awfully balanced. The Bulldog is just a better stinger, which is actually really good because it means it's a highly accurate burst mode and then a less accurate automatic mode in the form of the rifle, which is actually really cool. It's genuinely a great gun. It's just not worth how much it costs. The Guardian is also a criminally underlooked gun. It's literally just a bolt action rifle, and I love it. And I think if you were to buff it a little bit and raise its price, it could easily compete with the Vandal and the Phantom. It won't replace either of them, but I love it.
Keep me up till 2 a.m.
I don't know, is he? Do you just,
I mean,
you don't make the best choice.
It's a little scary. Intimidating. I don't know if you can hear her. She's on the bomb diffuser.
You gotta go. You gotta
You gotta go.
Saw one. Hey,
Yeah, and all the
guys.
utils down.
Well,
I couldn't hear him.
Bitch.
It's hilarious hearing terms of a game when you don't know what game it is.
Yo, can you kill them, please? How did Viper not turn around and look at you?
Just let me.
hey, Miguel. Stage is mid-option. The only
Wow.
Exception. Why do people just stop shooting as soon as they encounter a Guardian? I don't understand.
I think there's a very easy way to make guns more fun. Here's my idea, because I don't just want to be like, Valorant bad, and then anytime anyone asks me, how do you fix Valorant, just go, I don't freaking know. So here's my ideas that I make better. First, changes. Raise the price of the Guardian a bit and buff it. Make it competitive with something like the Vandal and the Phantom. I love my cheap Guardian, but it needs a buff, and its price needs to go up. For the Bulldog, bring its price down a little bit. Make it competitive with something like the Spectre. Make people genuinely think about, okay, should I save a bit of money and get the Spectre, or splurge a bit and get the Bulldog? You need to make the Bulldog competitive for forced buys, because usually when someone does a forced buy, they're just going to do a half buy because there's no real reason to do a forced buy over a half buy. There's never really going to be a point where getting a Bulldog gets you up to a Vandal, and a Spectre won't. So there's no real reason to, but if you lower the price of the Bulldog, it gives you an effective counter to, just Spectre spam. For new guns, slap a good scope and an assault rifle. That's it. I just love scoped assault rifles. Please give me one. Heck, give the Bulldog a scope. Just slap one on there and keep it at the same price or raise it. And I think that would work really well. Also, bring in a less powerful SMG that can work as a run and gun tool, like something between the Stinger and the Spectre that you can actually run and gun with. Heck, you can make it an automatic pistol if you want. Do you know how amazing it would be to run around with an Uzi? Bro, that'd be awesome. Also, more powerful shotgun pistol. I think one of those crank where they go down and then come back up, I think that would be really cool and give you a reason to have a secondary. That's for close range, because the shorty sucks. There's not much you can do with snipers. I would love to improve them, but I can't really think of any new stuff. Heck, even CSGO only has 2 of them, and they like tried to make every single gun possible. My only idea would be like maybe bring in a crossbow if you wanted to lean more into the tac shooter. Maybe make a crossbow that's on par with the Marshall power-wise, but make it completely silent and with a very low tracer round so that it's hard to see where it's coming from. I think that might be cool. Throw a bunch of other things in there. Get genuinely silenced weapons that cost more than the original counterpoints, but lower the tracer rounds and lower the sound. Oh, and guns aren't the only thing I take issue with. Riot, the frick are you doing with your maps?
I'm just complaining because like Valorant has like 5 maps and they're taking one out of the rotation. Like,
I think they have more than 5 maps.
Yeah, there's 4,
it's like 6 or 7.
5, 7.
I like how you stopped at 5.
Go, go, go!
Yeah, Miguel, there's more than 5. There's
Enemigo detectado.
3,
Spike plan, tengo que irme.
5,
Yo me voy.
and a few more.
There is a total of 7 maps in Valorant, and you usually only get to play 3 of them because the map selection is doo-doo.
No, I'm dodging, bro. I'm actually dodging.
Pearl's not horrible.
You guys mind? I don't want to play Combine,
No, it's
bro.
fine. Oh, it's Pearl. No thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it can't be me.
It's Pearl again. Miguel, your turn.
Yep. No.
Miguel, it's your turn again.
Yep.
Is it Pearl?
No, I'm done. I'm done.
I'm going to bed.
But you can't even play 7 maps because with the new edition of Pearl, they got rid of Split. One of my favorite maps, and you know the reason, you want to hear the reasoning for why they got rid of Split so that they could put Pearl in? They're too similar. Well then maybe, right? Just maybe, just here's a suggestion. Maybe make a new, original map instead of actively removing one of the most beloved maps of the game. Just make a unique map. Also, new maps have been so hit or miss, I'm not gonna lie. Like, Ascent, Split, and Haven are absolute god tiers. They're a pleasure to play on, and I always cheer whenever I get them. They're good, they're unique, and they're distinguishably Valorant. They don't feel like a different game. Bind and Fracture are good maps. Bind is very functional, but I play it too much, and it doesn't feel super unique, but, like, you know, it's still a good map. I have no issues with it. Fracture, I just like Fracture because it's inventive. It's much less mechanically sound, but it is a lot more inventive and has a lot of new stuff, and that's cool. I really like it when maps have cool new stuff or a layout that's you don't see a lot. That's cool. I like that. Icebox exists. I have no strong feelings about it. Sometimes I hate it. Sometimes I love it. It's a mid map. It's fine. Every game's gonna have its mid maps, and that's fine. It's fine to be average. It's a map. Breeze and Pearl are doo-doo. Maybe I'll do a video on why I dislike them, probably not, but just so you know, they are the worst maps. Now, this doesn't mean they're bad per se. Bro, you just called them doo-doo. Shut up. And I think it gets a bit too much hate for what it is. Like, Breeze isn't like hell, guys. It's not the worst map in the world. Oh, are you gonna praise Pearl too now? No, I'm not. And these 2 maps are some of the worst of what I think Valorant has to offer. And I would not be as annoyed with them if I A, didn't have to play them so much, and B, Pearl hadn't kicked Split out of the map rotation. There is 7 maps. 7. And we've kicked one out to make room for another. That's 6 maps. That's not a lot. Mario Kart has more. A Grand Prix in Mario Kart has 2 less maps. A Grand Prix. This is a tac shooter. The main reason I find myself not wanting to really play Valorant much is honestly just the time commitment. With every game taking upwards of a full hour and downwards of half an hour, the amount of time you have to commit to a singular game is really discouraging. But AK, they have mini games. Yeah, they do, and I do enjoy a lot of these, but they're all mini-games, which means they completely change the gameplay. I don't want to have to miss out on a third of my son's life so that I can get 5 kills and get shot in the face 20 times. I would love a Spike Rush length game that has normal game mechanics, or maybe just an option in-game where you guys can vote to just lower how many rounds you need for a win. I think that would be a really cool feature, but apparently not. And it's all because Valorant is built around one thing: balance and esports. And here's the true tragedy of Valorant, because it feels like Riot is interested in making a good esports game, not a fun video game. Every move they take that I disagree with, it all feels like the developers are more interested in making a balanced game design than a fun game design. What it feels like is the kid on the basketball court who, instead of playing a fun pickup game, is like, we have to play by NBA rules. Like, no we don't. No we don't. This isn't the NBA. Every move that Riot makes that makes me more and more disappointed in Valorant, it comes from this issue. Whether it be breaking Cypher and Sage's knees and debuffs, not because they're bad or broken characters, but because they're two characters that Riot made genuinely good, and therefore they got consistent pick rates in the pro leagues. So, instead of making other good characters, they just debuff them, making people not want to play them and ruining their economies. And then like 2 seconds later, introduced a character who is designed to fight sentinels and break their power. And guess what? It backfired. Because no one played this robot. No one played KO. Because the devs had done his job for him. Or if it be getting rid of 4 stacks because it's unfair to solo queuers. Oh, did I forget to mention that? Yeah, you can't play it competitive if you have 4 people in your party because solo queuers were having hard times communicating with, you know, a 4 stack. And like, I understand that. That's not good. I can see how that's been annoying. But there's a very, very simple counter. Just let people leave at the beginning of a round without penalties. And you know why they won't do this? Because it lets you pick and choose the maps. I would love to be able to select maps I want to play. Do you know how long it's been since I played Ascent? I don't play Ascent anymore. All I get is like Icebox and Breeze, and I'm tired of playing them. And stuff like that is awful, because Riot refuses to change. They keep making a game that favors stuff like the pro leagues, and it's hurting casuals. And half the time, all they're doing is alienating the community. Valorant is a game designed for sweats and pros at this point. It's a game. You should be able to have fun as a casual. You shouldn't need to play this game as a pro and as a competitive person to have fun with Valorant. And you know what? I like playing comp. I like being competitive in this game. But the fact that it takes itself so seriously that I feel like I can't have fun when I want to goof off because the game is like, you can't have fun. We're a very serious pixel. We have a lot of pixels on screen and we care about every single one of them, and it's very important to us. Also pay $300 for our new bundle. The game is already plagued by things like harsh bans because your power goes out in the middle of an unrated and you're AFK for a round or 2, and therefore that means you need to get hours and perhaps day-long bans because you need to take this game very seriously. Like, that is stupid. Like, why is that a feature? Who made that a feature? Why? Riot is punishing people who don't take the game seriously, but it's a video game. You don't need to take it seriously. Valorant can be a very fun game, and I have lots of fun with it. But so long as it keeps taking itself super seriously, it's just gonna get worse, and that's something I don't want to see. And this isn't attack on the devs or anything. I understand that they're trying to make what they had in mind, but you know, it helps to remember at some point that there's casuals among the community. And something like CSGO has so much support behind its esports and so many people because it's fundamentally just a fun game, and Valorant can be a very fun game. They also need to stop pretending like the only people playing their games are esports people. Casuals exist too. Please pay attention to us. We'd love to hear back from you. And yeah, that's it. Game broke, am angry, Riot, please fix. Sorry, I have to rant about this at the end. What the heck is this? Almost every Valorant agent is designed with like some unique ability or like, you know, special pizzazz they have. Except for Fade, which is basically what happens when you take Cypher and Sky and they have a child and it gets a blood transfusion with Reyna. And that's basically what Fade is. But this thing, Who came up with this idea? Someone sat down in a boardroom. Was like, alright, head of Riot. I don't know who the head of Riot is. I just assume that it's like... I don't know any famous rioters. Hello, head Riot person. I would like to present to you with a new character, man. His name is Chamber. He is French. And he has a gun. Yeah. Oh, right on, man. Hey, that's pretty cool. Oh, seriously, what the heck? They just gave a French guy a gun and just went, yep, this guy's a new agent. What? Huh? You can't just give a French guy a gun and assume that he's just a character. What do you mean?